Hey everyone, welcome to Weekend Project. Thank you for your time, much appreciated. We're gonna be busting those panels this year, I told you. So we have two that I'm finishing out the same way. Here's one behind me. They're the same measurements of 43 long, 23.5 wide. And I did a 3.5 inch border and then did some squares, some 2.5 inch squares, and I put them in a colorful transitional 9-patch. So that's how we're kind of working this, okay? So I have added my 3.5 inch border piece to one side of this panel, this beautiful, cute little fairy panel here. And I just need, and the other one is pinned. So I'm going to sew this one, do a measure that's going to border out the panel completely, and then we'll start putting our squares together. So to get your little 9-patch squares, okay, you're going to take widths of fabric. So I suggest taking 3 of each color if you want it to come around just the 2 sides of this one. If you want it to go around 2 other sides, like to go completely all the way around, you're going to need 6 strips of each color, the width of the fabric, okay, and by 2.5. And then you're going to make yourself a little diagram and figure out what color you want for 1, 2, and 3, and then make that transition for your block as you go, okay? So what do we have here? I missed that. Okay, so this was my block. Okay, so I had color 1 was green, color 2 was yellow, and color 3 was purple. So you need to do 3 different sets with the layout like that. So you'll have all your pieces sewn together, your strips of fabric all the way the width, and then you're going to cut them at 2.5 to go just like that to make your pieces for your 9-patch, okay? So, and then, like I said, write it out on a little board like I did to make sure I wasn't misguiding myself on making sure I wasn't making a mistake on how I wanted these to go together, okay? So let's get at her, okay? Hold on. There we go. The transition was a little wrong. It's like, wait a second, it's supposed to have green in the center. Okay, so we need to put 2 more blocks of these together to finish our two-sided border. So I'm gonna go across the long side again and then across the top on this one, okay? So it helps get another panel finished out of the collection, okay? So we're gonna just go over to the machine here and sew this other 3.5 inch border, okay? Oh. It's probably because I'm standing and not at the right angle. Kind of munched up the corner a bit, but that's okay. This makes it really quick, and you can get 2 done in the same amount of time because I'm using the same colors. They match with both panels. It's going to brighten it up and make it bigger. So, but if you wanted to go all the way around, you're going to need at least 6. But if you just want to do 2 sides on one panel like I did, you need 3 of each. 3 of each color. 3 strips of each color to make your strip sets, okay? And then that should be enough to make all your little 9-patch blocks to cover the whole border. And you want to be consistent in the gradual of the colors too, right? And that's why I like it with the 3 color. It looks really pretty. And you can have this like little, almost like spiral effect down the side of the border. Okay. All right, I'll take those pins out. I didn't dig them all out already, all right. And then we're gonna press that. And then we're gonna take the measurement that we have from one end to the other, the top, the middle, and the bottom, and then that's gonna be the piece we're gonna cut, okay? So. And that'll be for both sides. We're going to take the average of the 3, okay? Should be close to 36 because of what we had and then what we added. So I think Or maybe I'm thinking 30. Some days are good math days, some days are bad math days. Yeah, I must have been thinking 30. Okay, so it comes out to be 29.5. That's right, 29.5. So that's our panel right now. Okay. And that's a great way to bulk out one on the side. You could probably do it thicker on the sides than the top if you wanted to do it that way. But just make sure when you're doing your squares, you're going to make sure that the math adds up. So you're not chopping one set of squares in half or anything like that. You want it to line up as prettily and as nice as possible, right? Okay, so now that we have that, let's do this. This. We'll grab the bottom. Yes, okay, I'll make sure, just in case I grab the bottom twice. Yes, okay, so we've got 29.5. So we're just going to take this piece here, plop her there for a moment, take our little squares, take our pink that we have for our border, line it up on our board, just taking the salvage and making it go past the 29.5, okay? We don't want the salvage. Okay. And then we're just gonna right there. Oops, a little bit shy of that, sorry. Should have done the half. I did on the 30. Okay, and then all the way to the other end, keeping my hand clear away from the blade. And then those are our two pieces that we're going to add on either side of the top of that panel. Okay. So what we want to do is just take it and fold it in half, put like a little crease. Okay, just do a little pinch, okay, right there, just do a quick and easy little pinch, and then when it comes to lining up the panel, you want to do the same thing, find the half, give a little pinch, now you take those two little pinch marks and you line them up, then you got half and half, and then you can pin on either end, like that, and like that, and it should fit nice and snug as a bug in a rug. Okay. I'm just going to put another one on either side. Oops, all right, didn't lose our piece. And again, we're going to take it, fold it in half, find that little, just do a quick little pinch. Sorry, heater's kicking in. Alright, and lined up our two little pinch marks, or crease marks. There. And there. And that is the best way to make sure you got a nice square project to begin with when you're making your little triangles. Okay. I mean triangles, squares. Maybe geometry's hard today. Alright, now we're going to sew those, okay? And then we're going to press outwards. And then we can work on either the top part or the side part. I like to do the long part first, and then the top part, or bottom part, whichever other side. Okay. Hope everyone's had a fantastic week. I'm happy to know I am working through my panels and making gifts or things to sell, right? So, okay, now the next one. Try that again, shall we? There we go. I've got some really cute panels. Some can be chopped up, made into like big blocks, and some can be, you know, made into table runners or placemats or something, things like that. So, but there's some like these two right here. you just want to leave them kind of just the way they are. I guess the one behind me you could have maybe taken the top border and bottom border off, but I think it just looks so cute together. And the birds were adorable. And we do have a picture of the salvage of both of these projects, these panels here, in case you were so curious that you wanted to know where. Hopefully that will help. Okay. Right, now that we have the top and the bottom on, so we got our panel completely surrounded here at this point in time. Okay. All right. So we're going to give that a little press. And then we got to get building out 2 more blocks for our surround. We do have one side ready to go, so we could pin that. I'm trying to press it outwards just so it'll sit a bit better. It's such a cute little fairy panel too. Needs to be seen and loved by someone. And these are just big enough for lap quilts, obviously toddler quilts. Okay. All right. Again, so now we're going to find our half. Okay. Same principle, and I find either you can even put a pin in if you like, but I mean if I'm just putting a tiny little crease and it's only for a few moments, I think it's okay. So it depends on what side I want to do that. Actually, I was going to do it on the other side. Ha 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 ha. Okay, so you can see how the panel behind me I did on the left hand side, right hand side, depending on how you're looking at it. I want to do this one on the other side. Okay. So that's where I'm going to fold. And if you have a panel like mine, which is starts off at 23.5 by 43.5, or 43, then you're going to need 14 of the 9 patches to make your project happen. Okay. You're going to need 8 for one side and then 6 for the other. Okay. Of course, and then if you wanted to do more than that, right? There is my crease, there's my half. I have a nice seam for the half, thank goodness, because it's nice and even all the way. And again, the same principle, taking your half, pinning it, and then going all the way to each corner. Okay. And then popping a few more pins for security. But that's just me. If you want to just run her through, then run her through. I'm a pinner. I'm a pinner for a winner. A little fold there. Alright, let's take those pins out. Okay. I'm trying to ease that fullness in. Probably thick on a few of my seams maybe for putting my squares together. It happens. Just gotta be able to work in just that little bit of fullness. Okay. There we go. Okay, so let's sew that side down, and then we'll show you how to make one of these little block sets. Okay. They're both lying nice and flat against each other as you're feeding it through. This is really a key too. So only go as fast as you want. Okay, that seemed probably could have went the other way. That's all right. See what it looks like. Maybe you don't want to add to the bottom. Maybe it's going to be too long for your project. So maybe you just want to add to one side. So here's what that would look like. Okay. Stretch it that way so you can see it. Okay. And then you're going to want to do another section down here on the bottom. And you want to make sure it lines up. Like that's a key part too, right? When you're creating your blocks, making sure that what you have next in line for the transition is going to be what it needs to be. See how I've made sure that way? Now we're keeping the same position as we're going. So I need to make 2 more blocks to finish this off. Okay. Just put them together. Oh, so pretty. Guess we should press that. Now you can pin these. I find that these are doable for me to line up, trying to flip and flop the seams to get them all snug together. Okay, there, just by holding it with my finger, make sure I'm coming in where it needs to be. And then just making sure they're flipped and flopped. One's one way and one is the other. If you can, I mean, sometimes it's not always going to happen, so don't panic over it. Okay? So now, spread it out. Now we add this piece. Okay. So it's my 1, 2, 3 color at the top, and then my 3, 1, 2 color in the middle row, and then my 2, 3, 1 color in the last row. Okay. And then that's what the patch looks like. Okay. Just like that. I need one more, just like that, to finish off this quilt top. So not bad. It's a bit of a stash buster, or if you wanted to make it scrappy squares, that is all the more merrier. I'm sure then you wouldn't have to worry about positioning of diagonals, and you could, as long as your squares are lining up, it would look really neat. So you could do it that. You can pick 5 colors, pick 2, well, 2 colors kind of, you know, it's just a plain old 9patch, but that's fine too. Okay, so now we'll press those 2, get them sewn together, and then sew into our other set. Okay, so let's get some heat loving on this too. And I didn't choose purple for the border. I popped a pink in there for one to pick out a little bit more pinks in the quilt, because I did have green and purple and yellow on the outside. But also to give it that break in between. I didn't want the purple to connect, right? I didn't want that. Okay, so here's our 2 blocks that we need to add to our row. That'll go there, and then this one will go here. Okay, we'll sew those. Now these are just extra bits, but I mean, like I said, if you just want to keep going around and around and around. Okay, so we'll line those 2 up. Put them on the machine. And we'll add it to the trail. So here, line it up. I'm going to press it, find the middle, and attach it to the top. Okay. Okay. It should. Hold on. Let me double check here. Yeah, we should be good. Center. Find the center. Pinch. Let's make sure I have it going the right colorway here. Hold on. Yes, perfect. Okay. Okay. Pin in the center. On either sides. You may have to tinily smidgen off a trim over there, but on either side. But I don't think it's really going to matter as long as it's not like a half a block or something, okay? Just depending on how your panel is and your seams on your blocks itself, right? On your little squares. And then this one, you really want to make sure you're lining up at every single one where it's connecting from that top side part to the top part or side part to the bottom part. Okay. So I really want to make sure each one of those seams is flipped, flopped, and pinned. Okay, there. Okay, now that is our last seam. Okay. And the extra bits you can make a little pillow to go with, or something, a little bag or something to go on the dresser. Just something fun for, you know, a dolly's quilt. It does seem a little full there. Lay flat a bit here. Okay. And within like a couple hours, you got yourself 2 quilt tops, whether for, you know, juvenile or for, you know, seniors' homes or just comfort for your own couch for a lap quilt. But the size is pretty good for that sort of thing, right? And as well as, like I said, a junior quilt. Okay, so once you get all that sorted, and then, of course, if you want to, you can slap another border all the way around this, right? There we go. That looks pretty nice. I like it. I like it. Okay, see how it looks there a bit more that way. Better look. So hopefully this little part of our series, I'm not sure how long it's going to go on for, but I got panels. And however, I just keep coming up with ideas or looking for inspiration for, you know, to finish them off and get them done, because they're not doing any good sitting in a box or in a container. So hopefully you're coming along with this adventure. Take care, everybody. Have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Take care.